Welcome back to the SpewnedIt Podcast. We are Liberty Live.
We're live.
Here on the SpewnedIt
We're so live, it's not even
Podcast.
It's not even funny.
Is that just water in an orange water bottle, or is you got orange liquid in a...
It's like it's one of these ones that like it changes color. So I got this from a friend of mine. She's part of like the young adults group that I'm a part of, and she left the bottle here. And then for ages she was like, "I'm gonna come get it back," and I was like, "Great, it's downstairs whenever you need it." And then she was like, "I'm not gonna come get it back. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Actually, yes," because it's just a great reminder to keep drinking water. And then I don't need to go to fill it for like ages. So that's.
Does it have those little like notes like? Keep going. You're almost, does it? Okay.
7 a.m. Good morning.
Nice.
9 a.m. You've got it. 11 a.m. Remember your goals. 1 p.m. That's it. 3 p.m. Keep drinking. 5 p.m. No excuses. 7 p.m. A little bit more. 9 p.m. Well done.
Well done.
So motivational.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Nice on.
Spare.
Good old
good stuff.
Wii sounds, dude.
Good old Wii sounds. Sports. By the way, I mean, obviously it's going to depend on when this comes out, but happy May the 4th.
Hey, yes, to you as well.
How have we not said that yet,
I know.
Dude?
Yeah, we've got a whole plan today. We're going to go see the episode 1 re-release that's in theaters today.
Yeah.
And then we're going to hang out, I think, with like Toby, Jenna, Kyan and Tegan, some other folks, and do like Star Wars food. So they've got, what do they say? We've got A-wings, chicken wings, but they're A-wings.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
What else did they say? Jabba the hot dogs, I think. Or something
like
hot that.
Dogs.
They had a couple more. But anyway, so I think it's the most I've ever like celebrated May the 4th.
It's never really been a major thing that we've done.
Yeah.
Did you and I ever do anything back in the day in terms of like watching loads of the movies? Like
We never did a marathon. We always talked about it, but it's just
that is such a shame.
Commitment, I don't know.
It is a big time commitment, to be fair.
Have a whole day to sit there and watch movies one after the other.
I think it was hard, like in Uganda as well, because the weather was so nice and because it was hot. Like, I feel like it's easier to watch a film when it's a bit cold and you can kind of, snuggle up in a blanket, obviously, with your boys, with your best mates, and just watch Star Wars. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. But it's so much easier to do that in a cold climate rather than when the sun's out and it's nice and warm. It's not the same. Yeah, we're gonna go watch The Phantom Menace tomorrow. In the cinemas.
Nice.
Me.
Cool.
This guy called Joe and this other guy called Joe. So it's going to be 2 Joes and a Joel
rocking
up to the cinema.
Nice.
Oh, I should have brought. I've got a Star Wars shirt, which I think was a charity shop buy actually, which is pretty cool. And so another one of the Joes, he said, "Yeah, I'm going to wear a Star Wars shirt," and the other one was like, "Nah, I'm not really digging that." And I was like, "Oh,
that's so weird."
Okay. So I've gotten the other Joe to bring a spare just in case he changes his mind and like sees us in the Star Wars shirts, and then the other guy's like, "Actually, I'm missing out here."
Want to just wear it to go with your friends?
I actually don't know.
Very strange.
I really hope he does. But anyways, we're gonna rock up to the cinema. We're gonna go from church straight out to grab some food.
Let's go
straight to the cinema. It's gonna be so much fun. I honestly can't wait.
Do you have a go-to cinema food buy, or are you like a budget man, like cinema food's too expensive? What do you...
Yeah, I'm definitely more like a cinema food's too expensive. I'm the kind of guy that I will go to the shops beforehand,
get snacks,
like packets of sweets and treat them like a just like 1 in there, 2 pockets. If you're wearing cargo trousers, of course, bang, chuck them in there as well. Bingo. So I'm holstered up. Do you know what I mean? I'm ready to just 5 minutes into the film, first packet. I'm doing that less nowadays just because I'm trying to eat less sweet. Right. But I'm tempted. I had these Lotus Biscoff biscuits the other day, which is they're like an Oreo shape. So it's like it's like a Lotus biscuit, then a Lotus Biscoff biscuit like paste, and then another Biscoff biscuit. Like, they're incredible. So I had some of those the other day, and I'm planning on having maybe just 1 or 2 of those, just like again, holstered, ready to go.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded. Yeah. What about you? Are you kind of like are you like a popcorn guy? You like a massive shake type of thing?
It's definitely changed over the years. I used to be like never spend money in the theater ever. And I had Movie Pass, right? So I would see all the movies I wanted for $10 a month. So I was like,
dude.
I was like ultimate budget moviegoer.
Yeah.
And it was great. And
yeah,
that was
I
like
love
college days when like I didn't really have any spare money anyway. And then when I started going with B, she likes the popcorn and the drink, which is fine. It's a bit pricey, but we both have Movie Pass. So it still feels better because we're already saving a little bit, right? So, and then Movie Pass got more expensive. So now it's more like, oh man. But we really like, I'll tell you the one thing that we kind of splurge on a little bit is they have the gourmet popcorn at AMC, and they had an Oreo option, which was kind of it was okay. It tasted kind of like Oreo, but it was like, But their caramel popcorn is great, and you get it. We get the big bucket, and it's like hot, and then literally you just take it home and like put it in a bag. And because caramel popcorn is like so expensive anyway, and they give you a massive thing, so it doesn't feel that bad because you've gone home with it, and it still can last you a bit. And it's delicious. And it's like coming out like it's, under their like heater thing too. So it's warm. Like it's so good.
It's strong.
But I also definitely am a locked and loaded snacks sneaker as well. Yeah, you're big time. Go to Target, get a couple like dollar boxes. Yeah.
You got to be ready. Yeah.
Bring it for the homies. I've done like going with a bunch of people and packing everybody a little bag, just a couple like Oreos and some whatever we cut, gummies and stuff.
Make sure you've got your bags, team, okay? Make sure you've got them on you, to make sure that you're
Has everybody got their snacky? Everybody got one? No.
When it comes down to the more like base level of popcorn, like are you like sweet or salty though? If it's like if those are the only two options, what do you go for?
I mean, I like caramel corn better than regular popcorn just because it's better, but it doesn't really feel like in the same category because caramel corn is like so much more work than just popping popcorn in a microwave,
exactly.
But I do like a good popcorn. I like are you a fan of the cheesy popcorn?
Oh, no. See, I struggle when it gets to that kind of thing. See, I'm a major sweet tooth guy. Like I'm a sweet tooth boy.
Sure.
So the sweetest stuff in life are the things that I really love. And that's like, I find it easier to say no to like savory things
that's fair.
I indulge a lot more in sweeter stuff rather than in like savory things. Do you know what I mean? So
I got you.
So like even just last night, actually, I was at a mate's house watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and they made some popcorn, and they were like, so I'm going to be honest here. I spoke down on it really badly because even though I hadn't seen it, which is really poor. I know that's poor. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I'm sorry. That's poor. I think I saw my brother Dan watch it, watch part of it, and I think the only bit I really saw was like this isn't much of a spoiler, but like the hot dog fingers, and I was like, what on earth is this film? Like I just don't like that. It just made me feel weird. It made me feel gross. And so then I was like, I don't really get it. And then I'd heard people talk about it, and I was like, okay, but is it like, it sounds like there's a lot of meaning behind the film, but is it trying too hard, blah, blah, blah. And then I was at my mate's house, and he's like, Joel, this is my favorite film. Like, I'd be honored if you actually watched it and just to experience it. If you don't like it, then fine. But at least give it a watch. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay, fine. And I was honestly blown away. I was like, wow, okay, this is really good. I was like close to tears on multiple occasions. It is a really good film. I understand now why it won like everything. Was it 2 years ago when it was released? Was it 22? Maybe it was 23.
Sounds right.
No, I think it was 22. Anyways,
22,
but it just won. It won everything. I'll hold my hand up there. I was massively incorrect. I was just wrong. And it's funny because I hate that kind of mindset of like, just hating on something when you haven't even tried it, or like, I think it probably just, comes from growing up and my mum saying, well, if you don't like your greens, how do you know? You haven't even tasted them. So that is just like part of my DNA now. So shout out to my mum. But I was massively wrong. But anyways, the point of why I was saying that is because they said, what do you want on your popcorn? Do you want sugar or salt? And I was like, actually, I'd rather go with sugar. So I had a little bit of that.
So they just sprinkle the sugar on top?
So I think like, because
they
I was, so at the time,
it?
he was in the kitchen making the popcorn, and I was with his cat, who was just incredibly relaxed, but like practically falling asleep on my lap. So naturally, I was like, well, I can't move. I'm, do you know what I mean? Stuck, I'm like, I'm having a great time with this cat. I can't help out. I'm sorry. I just can't do that right now. So so I was busy. Yeah. So I'm not too sure how we made it, but it was nice. It just added like a nice little twist to it. It kind of caramelized as well, so that was kind of cool.
Okay, so probably some butter in there as well, maybe.
Hopefully some butter in there. But yeah, basically, I'm a sweet tooth boy. At the end of the day when it comes down to it. However, I was talking to a mate, like the mate of mine that I'm going to be going with tomorrow to the cinema to see Phantom Menace. He said that apparently there's a special popcorn bucket
I saw that
they're doing for the event. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the R2D2
So I haven't heard about this at all.
Oh.
That's probably what it is. And he's like, look, I really want to get the bucket. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. You know, we could do it. And he's like, yeah, I'll get the bucket, you eat the popcorn, and I'll take the bucket home. And I'm like, I don't see how I lose there. I was like, this might be the best cinema trip of my life.
There you go.
If you're buying the popcorn. I
think it comes with a drink as well, so see if you can get in on that.
Mate.
But dude, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw the price, which was like $50.
How much is it?
For like a plastic. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's shaped like R2D2 and it like opens in the back. And I think supposedly maybe the drink goes in the top somehow as well, because the straw comes out his head. I can't imagine they actually do that in the theater. Usually when they do those things, they hand you the promotional bucket and then they hand you your popcorn separately so you don't like get it dirty and stuff. But it was crazy expensive. So I don't know if your friend knows that and still gets it. Kudos to them, I suppose. But
fair play. That's impressive. Wow. I did not know that. I did not know that. Yeah, no, I mean, I really like how they're doing this though. I can't believe it's 25 years. That's what I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe it at all. I also like, I didn't really know this, right? But obviously the whole thing about, May the 4th is a play on words from May the Force, right?
Right.
You get that? It's classic, funny. But did you know that there are loads for the rest of them as well? So there's
the months?
there's like May the 5th. And it's something to do with like the Sith Lord, like something. And then there's like the 7th, the 6th, and the 7th, and the 8th, and it just goes on. And he showed me a photo of these. I'm gonna see if I can actually find some of them, because I've never I've never heard of any others apart from
May the 6th.
May the 4th. But then there was there were loads of them. Have you heard about any of these, or
I think I might have heard May the 6th, but it doesn't even really make sense. Because it's not like a phrase in the movies or anything like that.
Exactly. That's why I was like,
odd.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I don't really understand that. Okay. Well, look. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find them now. May the 4th be with you. Like, I don't know, alternatives maybe. Okay. Look.
Well, you find that right now. What I didn't realize about bringing stuff into a theater is you can literally just bring a bag and they don't care. I always thought to myself that it's like a concert or like they'd care, because I don't know, people bring weird stuff into places all the time. I just figured they'd like take a peek, and be like, oh yeah, you've got like $20 worth of candy in here. Don't do that. But when I started going out with B, my now wife, she's like, oh yeah, you can just put it in my backpack. I'm like, what? They don't like check? She's like, no. I'm like, that's crazy. You could do. Why does anyone buy anything at a theater? That's
I definitely thought it was like an illegal thing. That's why I always I was like, okay, Si, if I was going with my younger brother, I'd be like, Si, I'm going to take a massive jacket,
right? Yeah,
with a lot of inside pockets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you did that.
That's why you have jackets.
But now, if anything, I almost is this bad? If anything, I almost want it to be illegal. It's more exciting. You go into the cinema, you're like, oh, how can I get past? Am I going to get in trouble for bringing in a bag of Haribos? It sparks. I don't know. It sparks the excitement.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Yeah, you get an adrenaline.
Forbidden fruit.
Type of thing. Forbidden Haribos or something like that. I can't remember when I had that realization, but it was a bit of a shame. I was like, oh. Okay, slightly less. It's just less exciting now, which is,
Yeah.
yeah, not exactly the best.
You ever
but
seen on the most like extreme example, which I think they always have to be as a joke, right? But they'll like a woman will get like a watermelon half and like put it as if they're like pregnant under their shirt, and then either fill it with something or like just eat like watermelon in the theater.
I saw like a Dude Perfect video when they pulled that off, and I saw this guy pull up with like, you know how at like a gourmet place they'll have like a massive plate and then you have like the topper thing. Mm-hmm. So they were basically like someone was holding that, was like, oh yeah, this is my baby, and then they had like a full on roast turkey dinner or something like that. And I was like, that's got to be a joke. That can't be real. I don't know. I also feel like when you're watching a film, you need a snack that you don't need to look at.
Yeah, because if you're just always like, then you're missing the movie.
And look, I don't want to say anything against my mate, but when he made popcorn last night,
he missed.
It was a little bit burnt. Ooh. So I was having to like find my way between the burnt bits, flick them away kind of thing to the edge of the bowl.
Yikes.
And it distracted me from the film. So
that's brutal.
Look. You got to learn your lesson there, you unnamed friend of Joel, because I'm not going to throw you in the mud like that. Because I feel like that'd be mean.
Not on air.
But it's you can't. That's just harsh. That's just rude. Yeah. I feel like cinemas are such exciting places, though. Do you know what I mean? Like you walk in, and I don't know what it is, but I love how everywhere's carpeted. You walk in, and it's just like one massive carpet. I think call me crazy, call me bizarre, but that for me is just quite an exciting feature. Man, it really is the little things sometimes in life. But like you walk in and it's like the air, the air's a little bit different, and it's I love them. I love it, like the feeling of a cinema, the aesthetic of a cinema.
Big time.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
The one nearest my house. Well, actually, it's not technically nearest, but the one we go to most often, it's an AMC at a mall, and it's got like just the entryway is enormous. So it's kind of on the second level, and they got parking below, and then it goes like stairs up from 3 directions, and there's kind of a landing, and all the posters are here, like 2 stories tall, and then there's like a giant kind of archway entry, and then all the doors are here, and then you walk in, the ceiling is like up here, like you said, on the carpet, and there's check-in, and
so
all
dope.
the concessions are over there. It's a vibe for sure.
So cool,
big time. I'm a huge.
I would love
theater fan.
Well, I don't know if this would ruin the enjoyment, but like, would you think working at a cinema would like make a difference in terms of how much you enjoy a cinema and enjoy going to watch films? Because I imagine the discounts must be crazy.
We were just talking about that the other day. I think, I don't know. I imagine most of their job is just like sweeping up popcorn after movies, though. You know what I mean?
It's got to be a bit.
And then you like wait around, you check people in a little bit. You hand them some food, and then I'm sure you get to see, movies for free, or maybe get to preview stuff, which is cool. Mm. But I think, I don't know. I don't think I think it would probably be a pretty chill job. I imagine, like not too difficult. Well, mostly just kind of.
I mean, look, I tell you what. If you're listening to or watching this podcast and you work at a cinema, like let us know, because I'd actually be fascinated to hear about that. Whether or not you're like, well, because I feel like it's, I don't know, like where my mind goes to is like if you work at like a KFC or a McDonald's, do you just get to the point where you're like, I can't even look at this food anymore because I'm around it all the time, or are you actually like, no, it's so convenient and it's so easy that. It's kind of right there. And if anything, you enjoy it more. One thing that I might ask, like when I go to the cinema tomorrow, is if they're giving away, or maybe not. You might actually know a bit about this, and I'd be interested to see what you think about like the posters. Obviously, not like the massive flipping colossal posters,
just like the.
But imagine getting like a 6, well, even something like that. Or even like one of the 6-7 foot posters that they
the actual posters in the theater,
like one of the big ones. Because imagine having that, like just. Like imagine, oh my gosh, that would be incredible. But I don't know what they do with those after the film. Like, do you have any idea about where they go, or like?
That's
because I feel like that would be such a cool thing to collect.
That would be kind of a cool perk.
That would be a crazy thing. Imagine that. That's
a good question. I imagine they have to just throw them away, unless maybe if someone wants them, they can give them. Oh my gosh,
that would
I bet they're not supposed to, though. Probably, right? Because it's like promotional material. Even if the movies, I don't know. That's a good question. I can't imagine they like
just have
save
a cool down. Maybe they need to hold on to them for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to ask and I'm going to see, like, I don't know who you'd even speak to because I don't know if, like, the people there kind of on the floor would know about it. You may have to ring up and speak to the manager. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to see. I'm going to really try and find out because, like, if they've got, like, a special 25th anniversary poster, oh, my gosh, I'm going to lose it. I'll be like, yeah, that would be incredible.
They've been doing, for some of the movies I've gone to recently, they've been giving out, like, little posters, like a 1x2 foot one. And they just hand them out.
It's pretty cool.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah,
wow.
We got one. We went and saw, what did we see? Monkey Man we saw recently.
I've seen the trailers of that. And I've been in the middle of kind of like
I think
convinced
you would
I want
like
to see it. And then like a bit of like okay, I'm not too sure, but
is
it good?
Yeah. No, I thought it was good. It was kind of John Wick style. They even like reference him in the movie. Like the action is definitely John Wick inspired. And then the story, it's a pretty straightforward kind of revenge plot set in India. But the story behind the making of the film I thought was cool. Basically, it's Dev Patel, who's the lead actor, who you might know from Slumdog Millionaire was his breakout role.
Yeah.
Very good movie. I kind of want to rewatch that. I think I've only seen it once. But so I've heard, is actually a very talented martial artist, but for some reason people didn't want to cast him in like an action film. They didn't think he had to look for it or something. And so essentially he was like, all right, fine, I'll like make my own. And so he kind of like co-wrote, directed and produced this movie set in India about a guy who, is kind of a martial artist fighter dude and goes on a revenge plot. And then it was going to be like direct to streaming. And it was going to sell to, Netflix or somebody. And then Jordan Peele saw it and thought it was great and was like, no, this has to be a cinema release. And so then he hopped on as a producer, I guess maybe after the fact or maybe during. And then it did well, like in the box office. It was a good movie. I liked it. The action was cool.
Did you watch it in the cinema?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I would recommend, especially once it comes out. If it comes out on anything, you can see it for a decent deal. It was a fun watch.
Yeah. Mate, I was thinking about this just like literally just last night. I was like, I don't watch films anymore. Like I feel like I used to be a bit of like, I used to be up to date with kind of like films and I'd be on it. And I just don't watch films anymore. And then this weekend, I'm just going on like a polar opposite binge session.
There you
go. Like tonight, we're going to go see Civil War, I think, which should be pretty cool. We're going to see that in the cinema.
Let me know about that one. I heard mixed things.
Yeah, I will. My brother Dan was like super pumped. He was like, yeah, we've got to watch this. And I was like, mate, well, I'm there. Tickets were like £6. I'm like,
nice.
Yes, money. So yeah, I'll let you know. But it's just, I mean, it's a shame because like I said, I love films and I love the cinema. I love the cinema so much. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely let you know about that. Here's I mean, I've got an answer for this and this might be a bit harsh, but what is one film that you haven't seen in the cinema that you wish you'd be able to?
The first ones are like any Chris Nolan film that I didn't see, like Interstellar, Mad Max Fury Road, Rush. Rush, I've always thought would be cool.
Rush would be crazy. My top one is Inception. I'd love to watch Inception in the cinema.
Not seeing Rush in the cinema because I was like in Uganda and didn't even know about it until after the fact. Not seeing that movie in cinema is like why I went and saw Ford versus Ferrari and Gran Turismo. I'm just like chasing that like epic car sound in a theater.
The dream.
And Ford versus Ferrari was great. Gran Turismo was a little.
I need to see that actually. I need to see Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah.
Dude, you should. Oh, dude, you'd love it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen it, to be honest. That's crazy.
I know.
It's got two cars
like
in the name, man,
I've dropped off. I've dropped off.
That was years ago.
Honestly, it sucks. It sucks.
It was cool. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Really well acted. Yeah, that's cool.
I think I should get on a similar sort of vibe to you. I think I should get one of these cards that says, you can go to the cinema, as unlimited times when you pay this amount a month.
Yeah, so it's not like that anymore. They went out of business very quickly, which makes sense because
I'm not surprised.
But it was fun while it lasted. And then they just disappeared for several years. And then they got bought out by somebody and someone new took over and promised that they were going to come up with a business model that didn't just lose the money hand over fist. And so what they came up with is essentially they have different tiers, and you can pay like 10, 15, or 25, or maybe it goes up to 40 or something. And you get a certain amount of credits in the MoviePass app. And then depending on like the time of day, whether it's like a matinee showing or not, depending on how long the movie has been out, essentially doesn't always quite line up exactly, but basically just how much the ticket is in the theater. Actually, it'll cost between, I think they used to be like between, you can get them as cheap as $7 and as much as $25. They like bumped up the credits quite a bit, because the $10 tier gets you like 34 credits a month, and then they carry over for 1 month. So if you waited 2 months, you could have 64, and then see like 2 like new movies or, a bunch of older ones kind of deal.
Yeah.
But now they've jacked everything up, and I think the cheaper ones are like 15, 17, or 20. Oof. And the more expensive one are like 32. So I mean, here's
a crazy idea. You could get people to pay for one film when they go to the place. Like, I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe that's too far. I don't know. What do you think about that?
You're talking crazy, man. Talking crazy.
Yeah,
it does work out if you do go to the theater enough, just like one time a month, or maybe one time every 2 months, and you see a movie. Like typically here, a new movie price is like $15 to $17. Like if it's a new movie and it's at night, that's like a standard price.
That's not bad.
Like if you're saving, $7, that's what also makes me feel better about like spending money on popcorn. It's like, all right, well, I've already saved $7 because I bought my ticket for $10, right, with my subscription.
So then I've got like a free $7. You got a free $7.
So now the popcorn is only $8 instead of 15 or whatever crazy amount.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's all the mental gymnastics we do, to get the things.
Mental gymnastics. That's a great phrase. That's a great phrase. I don't know. I think there's definitely a few films I'd like to see in the cinema. Like I'd love to see the Dark Knight films. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
thought about going to see the Tenet re-release. The problem is I had like just rewatched it like within the month before it came out in IMAX. But that would have been, I love that movie. That would have been a cool one to see.
Mate, that is, I'm glad you like that, because some people just don't vibe with it. And Tenet, dude. A lot of people here that I've spoken to, they're like, yeah, no, Tenet is the only film I've seen in the cinema twice. I think I saw it twice in like the opening week. Obsessed. I was obsessed. It was great.
Movie's so cool.
So good. So good. Did you at all do like the Barbenheimer weekend? Or
we did. I did see both of them. I think I saw Barbie first, and then I saw Oppenheimer maybe the next week or something.
Okay,
it was a little later. I saw Oppenheimer, but it was still. But those were good. I enjoyed seeing those.
I mean, Oppenheimer in the cinema was just like,
that was cool.
Was insane. Like that is just, it was made for it. It was just made for it.
Yeah.
Sound and the visual effects were just like, I mean, wow, masterpiece. To be honest, like tip my hat to Christopher Nolan. What a guy! I'd love to meet him. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to like interview him one day.
That'd be a fun one.
That'd be sick. That would be cool.
I want to. What goes on in his mind that he's just,
what goes on in his brain?
What happens?
Do you know what I mean?
What's going on? Like,
how do you think up that kind of thing?
That's cool.
We watched them on the same day. we went to watch Oppenheimer, and we went to the pub for lunch, and had a couple beers after, and then watched Barbie.
Nice.
And then what a day! It was a crazy day. Look. Cinemas are top tier. I feel like we may have spoken about cinemas before on the podcast, but it has been a while. So
I mean, when we started the podcast, cinemas weren't even running. So it's kind of crazy to now be here.
That's
4 years later and like having.
I didn't think about that.
It's kind of crazy, right? Like
that is crazy.
Like even Tenet was like it was a home release. Like I know it came out in theaters, but that was like the first movie back almost, and it didn't.
Wasn't it?
Because like that was still mostly locked down, and they were trying to figure out what to do.
Mate, it seems like another world nowadays, doesn't it? Like now that we're kind of pretty securely out of it, it's like what is that even about? It just seems so odd that was, and we had to just get used to that for a couple of years, and then we're just straight back into normal life. But the world has changed so much since then. It's cool. It's cool.
Wild.
Love cinemas, man. Mm-hmm. Go to the cinema, support your local cinema. And actually, if you are listening to or watching this podcast, then firstly, thank you for listening. And let us know in the comments or just get in touch and say hi with what is a film that maybe you haven't been able to see in the cinema, but you would love to. Ideally, we kind of want throwbacks, let's take a walk down memory lane. But yeah, get in touch and we would love to hear from you. And, from the SpewnedIt boys, this has been a lovely time catching up. Jens, it's always lovely to see you, man. I'm looking forward till next time. But until then, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. God bless.